Hey, what's up? What's up? Steve USS Cunningham here. Me and my wife, we decided to continue on with the USS podcast that I did that we started at the beginning of the Fury Wilder, I guess, trilogy. Now, so that was the first fight we did the podcast on. We're going to continue to do it, especially now that I'm getting commentating jobs often, working on a contract. But that's the that's a big thing for me, because also while we're commentating, while I'm doing the commentary, I'm going to do the podcast after to detail some things that we didn't speak on during the fight, the notes that we take during the fighter meetings, that the fighters say, things that they said they were doing, how training camp was, just give you a more in-depth look at those fights that you just saw. Secondly, I think my first video podcast is going to be about this video that's been circulating for 3 years, and I'm cool with giving energy to this stuff, right now, because I'm just cool with it. It's just gonna be a little bit of time. I'm gonna break this stuff down. There's a video out that supposedly details how I thumb fighters in world championship fights. This guy, he's got like 12,000 views on this video. It's been out for about 3 years. Everybody's in agreement. Oh, Cunningham thumbs. He did a good job. He put it together well. He spliced videos from my last world title fight in 2016 at the glove table, which shows how much he doesn't know about boxing. The things that he says in there. For those of you who know, certain things go on at a fighter's at a world championship glove table, looking at the gloves, inspecting the gloves. You got right of refusal. You can say I don't want to use these. I'll use his gloves. I'm gonna break that crap down so easy. When I saw the video, I was like, all right, he did a good job for the people who don't know what the hell's going on. So you got all these people that like it and they're talking. It is what it is. Everybody loves a good conspiracy. Everybody knows I love a good damn conspiracy. But we do the research. If it don't have any legs, I'm not spitting it. I'm not reciting it. I'm not reposting it. I'm not saying anything. So everybody loves look what this guy showed. Look what this guy brought out about Cunningham. Look what so it is what it is. I'm going to rip that video to shreds easily. When Brother Nazim saw the video, I showed it to Brother Nazim because this guy in the video he's really disrespectful to Brother Nazim. And he doesn't really know. I mean, this is why he's no name, no face. He doesn't have his name attached to this work. He doesn't have his face attached to this work so people can find him. Brother Nazim wanted to press charges against him for defamation of character. Why? Because this dude don't know what the hell he's talking about. Easily broken down. You can show that to any fighter, and they'll show you the errors. Or any fighter that's been on that world championship level that has fought and dealt with the glove table. He details the Troy Ross fight, which was stopped in the fourth round. I think it was fourth, which was my second world title fight, where the thumb cut his eye. My right hand, I threw the right hand. Troy Ross is a southpaw. He knocked me down. A good clean shot, 1-1-2, and everyone knows that I'll go down off a good shot. Sometimes I won't. It depends. I don't know why it happens, but I get up. You know what I'm saying? So I got up from that fight, from that knockdown, and went to work. Troy Ross advanced on me. As he advanced, I threw a straight right hand. He advanced. My hand didn't twist all the way down, and it ripped his eye. The force, boom, ripped through his eye. And it ripped his eye like down to there. In the fight, I didn't know it ripped that dude's eye in the fight. We kept on boxing for the rest of the round, and the referee stopped the fight after the next round because Troy was like, because the eye was ripped. I thought it was just because of the right hand landed. I didn't, his eye was messed up. We celebrated. It was my second world title. We enjoyed the victory for that moment. But when we got to the hotel about an hour later, we saw before we can even go up to our room, it was playing. The fight was playing on the television in the bar at the hotel. We sat there and watched it because it was my first time, seeing the fight. And the replay showed the thumb, and I was like, wow. I was like, oh man. Troy Ross didn't know it was a thumb after the fight. After the fight, we're talking, hugging each other. Hey man, talking rematch. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a rematch. There's no problem. You know, that was before either one of us knew it was a thumb. So when he found out it was a thumb, obviously from the replay, he started snapping, going off about how I cheated. I'm like, wow, we was just talking in the ring. I didn't know. Then, but months later, the promoter, who was both our promoter at the time, Sauerland, he was getting, the German promoter, Sauerland, he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame in Conestoga. I went, Marco Huck went to represent the team. Troy Ross shows up at one of the ceremonies. We're on the podium sitting next to our promoter. Troy Ross shows up with his wife, yelling at me, cussing, acting a fool, talking about I thumbed him, he wants a rematch, you know, this and that. And I started arguing back with him. And Sauerland told me, calm down. He said, Cunningham, calm down, relax. He said, he keeps going on like this, he's not getting no rematch. So it wasn't me that stopped the rematch. It was his actions, being a fool. I don't know what he thought he was doing, but he was disrespecting that man's induction weekend in Conestoga, you know, so he shut it down. The promoter said, you're not getting a rematch. So that's why that rematch didn't happen. Secondly, he uses a fight, Krzysztof Wlodarczyk. When I fought Krzysztof Wlodarczyk in the rematch for the IBF title my first time, I throw, you know, there's different jabs to throw. There's close fist power jab, there's a slappy flick jab, and I used to throw an open hand flick jab, you know. I threw the open hand flick jab, and it hit him, and the thumb went into dude's eye. He took a knee. I didn't know at the time. I'm thinking, yeah, I hit him with a good shot. He took a knee. I didn't even know it was a thumb until this video. I didn't even know it was a thumb until, that was 2007. Troy Ross was 2010. I didn't know I thumbed Wlodarczyk in the eye by accident until 2016. You know? So, who can thumb in the eye on purpose? Show me who can do that. Because after the Wlodarczyk fight, I fought Marco Huck. And in that fight, shoot, if I knew how to thumb, I'd have thumbed his ass most definitely. Marco Huck was talking so much trash. This dude actually kneed me in the fight. Up against the rope. He kneed me and threw elbows. So I'd have most definitely probably thumbed Marco Huck. That didn't happen. Then I fought Tomas Adam. Now come on. If I'm thumbing mugs, I'd have most definitely thumbed Tomas Adam in our first fight. This dude knocked me down 3 times. I felt I was going to lose. I felt I could probably get a draw, squeak out a draw, but I thought I lost because of the knockdowns. I'd have most definitely thumbed Adam in the eye. He has no complaints of a thumb. After that fight, I fought Wayne Braithwaite. I beat Wayne, tough fighter. He'd have got thumbed in the eye too. Who else? After Wayne Braithwaite, that was for the #1 spot. Then I fought Troy Ross. Accidental thumb. It happens. Stuff happens in boxing. There's stories I got of things that happened to me in fights that shut this down alone. But after Troy Ross, I fought Enat Lucena, defended that with the flu. He got thumbed because I had the flu. He was all over me. Then I fought Johan Pablo Hernandez, crafty Cuban southpaw, promoted by the Germans, managed by our German promoter, which I found out the week we went to Germany. I didn't know this. I wouldn't have took the fight if I'd have known Hernandez was promoted and managed by our promoter, the dude putting on the show. Of course they robbed me, but in that fight I got knocked down in the first round, and I came back to beat the snot out of Hernandez to the point to where he was about to quit, and the German doctor stops the fight on a cut that wasn't bleeding. So Hernandez would have got thumbed. In the rematch, I lost that fight fair and square. It was a good rumble. We fought to IBF Fight of the Year, but I'd have thumbed him then. That was 2 knocked. He knocked me down twice in that fight. Come on, man. I can continue on. The heavyweights that I fought, I'd have thumbed Tarver. Most damn definitely I'd have thumbed Tarver. If I knew how to thumb mugs on purpose. So this video is full of crap. It's full of garbage. So I'd have thumbed Fury. Most damn definitely Fury would have caught a thumb. Mansoor would have caught a thumb. Mansoor is the most powerful fighter I fought. He almost had me. He almost had me out. He'd have got thumbed. So these dudes with these videos, man, these YouTubers with these videos, some of them need to be checked. This is one I believe needs to be checked. I'm going to break this video down. I'm going to detail it, break it down piece by piece, just to show how you should not listen to every Tom, Dick, and asshole who has a YouTube channel telling you about boxing. Leave that up to us, the professionals. All right, we live it. I've been boxing for more than 24 years, amateur and pro. All right, leave it to us professionals. Some of these do, and listen, I'm not clowning every boxing YouTube media, quote unquote, media guy or girl. Some do, most do a good job, but you got these troll type dudes. They get these hits and views off of controversy, you know. So I'm going to break that down in the first podcast. I am going to break it down and rip it up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be easy. So from there, and I'm not even going to link the video. You guys can find it. I know most of you probably already seen it. Hopefully you've already said this is bull crap. For those of you who have fought, then how do you train to thumb? Without your thumb being effed up. How do you train the thumb without your thumb being broken? It's just astronomically ridiculous. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the first podcast. We're going to continue the podcast, try to get guests on there. I'm trying to have where people can call in. We do it janky. I put my phone up to the mic. We'll figure it out. I want to have guests like Nate Campbell. You know, I know fighters. You know, we'll see who we can get to call in, talk about some stuff, and we'll talk about some other stuff that's not even boxing. But USS Cunningham signing out.